strong earthquake strikes southwestern China, killing 17 people in Sichuan and 5 in neighboring Yunnan. The athletes' village for the Paralympic Games officially opens in Beijing. Egypt opens its border to Palestinians in the Gaza Strip as a goodwill gesture before the holy Muslim month of Ramadan. And Pakistan releases the list of candidates in its upcoming presidential elections. Hello and welcome to Worldwide Watch on CCTV International. I'm Li Xun in Beijing. An earthquake measuring 6.1 on the Richter scale has hit Panzhihua city in the southwestern province of Sichuan. 22 people have been reported dead, 17 in Sichuan and 5 in neighboring Yunnan province. Working teams from the China Earthquake Administration and Sichuan and Yunnan provincial earthquake bureaus are heading to the stricken areas. The quake struck at 4:30 p.m. on Saturday Beijing time. The epicenter was about 50 kilometers southeast of the downtown area. One person was killed in Miyi County and another was confirmed to have died when a house collapsed in Huili County, Sichuan. 5 people died in Chuxiong-yi Autonomous Prefecture in neighboring Yunnan province and 26 were injured, 11 of them severely. All the affected counties in Sichuan and Yunnan reported damaged houses. No casualties or damaged houses were reported in the urban area of Panzhihua. Yunnan's capital Kunming, about 300 kilometers from the epicenter, and Sichuan's capital Chengdu also felt the tremor. Many residents are now staying outdoors. Another earthquake measuring 5.3 on the Richter scale hit Hejing County in northwest China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region on Saturday evening. The epicenter was in the sparsely inhabited Tianshan Mountains. No casualties have been reported. Senior leaders have conducted inspection tours of northern China. Economic growth and preparations for the Paralympics were among their top concerns. Ren Ting takes a closer look.
Top political advisor Jia Qinglin went to the northeastern province of Heilongjiang, an important grain production base and one of the country's old industrial bases. Jia Qinglin visited both cities and rural areas. He asked the local government to increase financial support for the agricultural sector and improve infrastructure such as irrigation systems. He also called for more technology for agricultural development. Jia Qinglin visited factories and said old industrial base should open more to the outside world and increase trade links to Russia. Vice Premier Li Keqiang toured Inner Mongolia, which borders Russia. The region has close economic and trade connections with its northern neighbor. Li Keqiang talked to some local and Russian business people to learn about their businesses. Senior party official Zhou Yongkang was more concerned with services and security for the Paralympics, which begin next week. On Friday, he visited the Beijing South Railway Station and looked at facilities for people with a disability. He said no efforts should be spared in providing the best service and security for the Paralympics. Zhou Yongkang then took a new express train to the port city of Tianjin. He inspected trains' facilities and said upcoming games should lead to nationwide improvements for services for the disabled. Ren Ting, CCTV.
The athletes' village for the Beijing Paralympic Games has officially opened. The village, which was transformed from the Olympic village, will be home to more than 7,000 athletes and officials during the Paralympics, starting from September the 6th. Organizers say the facilities have been modified to the needs of disabled people. Tactile and accessible pavements are installed in public areas. The serving tables are all lowered and passageways are now wide enough for easy wheelchair access. The Chinese delegation was the first to check in. Jamaica, Slovenia and Serbia are expected to follow soon. Besides over 40 apartment buildings, there are shops, a hospital and a bank. After the Games, the apartments will be converted to housing for the public. And this just in, the torch relay for the upcoming Beijing Paralympics is now underway as we speak in the central Chinese city of Wuhan. It is the second stop along the modern China route. The relay kicked off just 10 minutes ago. The first torchbearer is orthopedic expert Chen Yu. Chen is a Wuhan Paralympic champion. She won a gold medal in the women's table tennis team match in Seoul in 1988. A total of 60 people, 9 of them disabled, are expected to carry the torch on the 3-kilometer route in the city's economic and technological development zone. The whole event lasts about 1.5 hours. Shortly after that, at 10 o'clock, the Paralympic torch relay on the ancient China route will begin at its third stop in central China's Changsha city. And the German Paralympic delegation is on their way to Beijing. They are hoping to adjust to the climate before competition begins. Song Wei has this story.
Germany has sent a delegation of more than 270 people, including athletes, coaches, and medical staff. They will compete in 16 of the 20 Paralympic sports. Their ages range from 17 to 68 years. Anticipation continued to build as the delegation gathered at the airport on Friday. 68-year-old rower Harold Wimmer was especially excited. The Beijing Games will be his first Paralympics.
I'm very excited. Participating in the Paralympic Games to me is to realize the biggest dream of my life.
Germany ranked 8 on the medal table at the last Paralympics. They hope they can perform as well this time.
We hope that we can keep the 8th position. Of course, we'll be more happy if any improvement is made. I believe that in Beijing we'll see very hot competition.
Some athletes say that they expect to gain a better understanding of Chinese culture during their stay in Beijing. Song Wei, CCTV.
Russian President Dmitry Medvedev hosted a ceremony at the Kremlin on Saturday in honor of Russia's Olympic athletes. Medvedev congratulated the athletes on their achievements at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, saying they performed well. He noted the country has the potential for better results, though. Medvedev says the athletes must now look to the future and focus on their next challenge, the 2012 London Olympics. Russian athletes ranked third on the medal tally in Beijing, behind China and the US. They won 23 gold, 21 silver and 28 bronze medals.
They are the makers of Made in China. They had been in great danger. Depressed by the doubt about the basic food supply to the people. Yet they forge ahead, disregarding many hurdles. Step by step, day by day, they are making true miracles. Every move, every moment. We record, we recall.
Wei Wei and Xi Wan, 2 pandas evacuated from the Wolong Reservation in the Sichuan quake zone, have just returned home.
Despite a rainy day, the birthday party held by the Wuhan Zoo attracted a lot of visitors.
Many children who were also born on August 29th were invited. The party host told the children about pandas and led them in a happy birthday song. 2 cakes were prepared, one for the children invited to the party and the other for Wei Wei and Shi Wang. Their cake was made up of special concentrated feed, carrots, apples, and bamboo leaves. August 29th was Wei Wei's birthday, the younger panda of the 2. Shi Wang was also born in August, but only 18 days before Wei Wei, so the Wuhan Zoo decided to have a birthday for them both on the same day.
Except for a bit of nervousness on their arrival, the 2 pandas have been in good condition since they came from the Sichuan province in southwest China.
Wuhan Zoo's panda keeper Chen Jun explained that pandas are afraid of heat and would feel uncomfortable if the temperature exceeded 25 degrees centigrade. So the cool weather of the rainy day was suitable for Wei Wei and Shi Wang and didn't discourage visitors. The 2 male pandas were entrusted to the care of the Wuhan Zoo at the end of June because their shelters at Wolong Reservation had been destroyed by the May 12th Wenchuan earthquake. Wei Wei and Shi Wang have now become stars in Wuhan, capital of central China's Hubei province. They will stay in the city for 2 years and then will be sent back to their homeland Sichuan to get married. Zhong Tao for CCTV from Wuhan.
And this is Worldwide Watch on CCTV International. Still ahead, Egypt temporarily opens its border crossing with the Gaza Strip ahead of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. And the widower of slain ex-Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto tops the candidate list in Pakistan's presidential elections.
Leaving the country of daughters, Sulima.
Excellent Guyur rice wine, long-standing nourishment, and enjoyment. Tasting of Guyur Longshan. Guyur Longshan, the national legacy.
Tangshan, an ecological city, a reborn phoenix.
A key to global fortune and an overview to the world of investment. The 12th China International Fair for Investment and Trade, September 8, Xiamen, China.
Thousand Island Lake, the ideal place to relax. Hangzhou.
Sichuan, land of abundance, home of the panda.
Chengdu, the hometown of giant panda.
In love's truest moments, the Chinese collar is my only choice. True love for real men. The 7-brand Chinese collar True Love series.
Huangshan, a tourism paradise.
CCTV9, China's only English-language news channel, broadcasts throughout China and across the globe. CCTV Golden Bridge is CCTV International's exclusive advertising agent and can put your company in touch with an audience of millions.
Welcome back. Egypt opened its sealed border crossing with the Gaza Strip on Saturday, allowing hundreds of people to enter and leave the coastal territory in a goodwill gesture before a holy Muslim month. Palestinians who live abroad and Egyptians stuck in Gaza because of the sealed border will shift to the Gaza-Egypt crossing in buses by Hamas police. Some 1,000 residents had left for Egypt by Saturday afternoon, and an additional 500 Palestinians entered Gaza from Egypt. Over Saturday and Sunday, Egypt will allow Palestinian students enrolled in universities abroad to leave Gaza, along with those with foreign residences and work visas. Georgia says it is recalling its embassy staff in Russia and cutting off diplomatic ties in response to Moscow's recognition of 2 breakaway Georgian regions. Meanwhile, Venezuela and Belarus have expressed support for Moscow. Yang Yan has the latest.
These residents are protesting Russia's presence in West Georgia as their government announces severing ties with Russia. Russia recognized South Ossetia and Abkhazia on Tuesday after rolling tanks and troops over its southern border to repel a Georgian offensive to retake South Ossetia.
We are convinced that in the current situation, it's increasingly important to sustain working contacts in the diplomatic field to solve, amongst other things, urgent humanitarian and consulate issues, the issues that concern regular citizens.
In response to media reports that EU leaders who will meet to discuss the Georgia crisis on Monday were considering ways to punish Russia, Moscow asked the European Union to refrain from sanctions against the country.
We hope that reason will prevail over emotions, that the leaders of EU countries will find strength to give up the one-sided assessment of the conflict and give an independent and objective interpretation of the situation and the reasons for it.
Georgian President Mikhail Saakashvili visited the Black Sea port city of Poti on Friday to inspect the damage caused during the country's recent conflict with Russia over the 2 separatist regions. At a meeting with local officials, he warned Russia about the consequences of their actions in Georgia, saying Russia is now isolated as never before. Meanwhile, Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez backed Russia's recognition of the 2 breakaway Georgian regions on Friday. During a televised speech, Chavez said Russia is right and is defending its interests. Russia's neighbor Belarus has expressed similar support. Yang Yan, CCTV.
The final list of Pakistan's presidential candidates has been issued. Senator Asif Ali Zardari is the candidate for the Pakistan People's Party or PPP. Retired Chief Justice Sayyiduzzaman Siddiqui is running for the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, known as the PMLN. Mushahid Suhain Syed will run for the Pakistan Muslim League Q or PMLQ. Polling for the presidential election will be held on the 6th of September in Parliament House and in the 4 provincial assemblies. Prime Minister Syed Yusuf Raza Gilani has appealed to all political parties to vote for Zardari, the widower of the slain ex-Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto, citing his services and sacrifices for the country. The presidential frontrunner has moved into a tightly guarded government compound. Thai Prime Minister Samak Sundaravej is facing mounting pressure to step down. Anti-government protesters occupied his headquarters for a 5th day on Saturday. Protesters have also disrupted rail and air services in some of the country's most popular tourist destinations. Hundreds of railway workers continue their 2nd day of a work stoppage by taking emergency sick leave, forcing the cancellation of dozens of passenger and cargo trains throughout the country. Samak insists he won't step down and may declare a state of emergency if rioting in the protests get worse. However, the country's influential army commander has rejected the Prime Minister's request to declare a state of emergency. The army chief vowed that the military will not intervene. He called for the crisis to be resolved by political means. Hurricane Gustav slammed into Cuba's tobacco-growing western tip Saturday, while both Cubans and Americans scrambled to evacuate. The powerful Category 4 hurricane remains on track to strike the oil-rich Gulf of Mexico and New Orleans. Yang Yan has the story.
Gustav regained hurricane force as it rolled across the Caribbean on Friday. So far, the storm has killed more than 70 people in the region. Officials say Gustav has the potential to be a very dangerous storm. New forecasts Friday made it increasingly clear that New Orleans will get some kind of heat, direct or indirect, by early next week. But the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says New Orleans is much better prepared this time.
We have flood walls that are reinforced in numerous locations. We have eye walls that have been replaced. We have flood walls that have been armored with riprap. And we have transition points between the flood walls and the levees that have been strengthened also.
Some residents have begun the arduous task of storm-proofing their homes. National Guard members are reporting to armories. Some nursing homes and hospitals plan to start moving patients farther inland, and the state has begun moving 9,000 inmates from coastal lockups. Yang Yan, CCTV.
And now for some other major stories from around the world.
Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi has arrived in Libya to sign a friendship pact which calls for Italy to pay billions of dollars in compensation for abuses committed during colonial rule. The accord should remove the latest hurdle to improve ties between Italy and Libya, a major energy producer. Egypt has opened its border crossing with the Gaza Strip, allowing hundreds of people to leave the Hamas-controlled territory. Egyptian security and border sources say the Rafah border crossing will remain open for 2 days to allow Gazans with foreign residence permits and humanitarian cases to enter. About 200 Palestinians have also returned home to Gaza from Egypt. Egypt closed Rafah crossing after Hamas seized the Gaza Strip more than a year ago. A bomb blast blamed on Tamil Tiger rebels has injured at least 45 people in the Sri Lankan capital Colombo. A military spokesman accused the Tamil rebels of setting off the blast on a busy street in the heart of the city. The small bomb tore through a crowd of weekend shoppers in a commercial area shortly after noon. Meanwhile, renewed fighting in the embattled north of the country killed 18 rebels and 3 soldiers.
The Shisha Islands. This remote island group in the South China Sea forms part of the southernmost outpost of Chinese territory. New Frontiers goes on an expedition to explore the mysterious coral reefs and exotic marine life in the seas of the Shisha Islands, only on CCTV International.
Welcome back. Property sales and real estate investment in China continue to dwindle. Now some experts expect the situation will last longer than expected, with some smaller developers folding altogether. Here's Liu Wenwei.
China's top economic planner says sales of commercial homes totaled 277 million square meters nationwide in the first 7 months this year. The number is down nearly 11% from last year, and the growth rate is 37.2 percentage points lower than a year ago. The amount of completed residential or existing homes are down 18% in terms of area from a year ago, and the number of pre-sale residential homes is down nearly 8%.
The shrinking sales show that macro control measures are actually working. Some people also believe prices will drop further, and some elements in the market have also kept some investors away.
China's property sector is experiencing typical stagflation at the moment. Trading is declining, which also drags down investment, while real overall housing prices in the country are actually growing.
Property investment has also slowed in China since the middle of the year. Figures from the NDRC show that during the first 7 months this year, Chinese developers bought 5% more land year on year. But the growth rate declined 6.7 percentage points from a year ago. Land purchases in July alone dipped by 28%.
Developers are very cautious now when taking land use right. One of the reasons is that they have no clues as to what the market will look like in 2009. Another reason is that it will take them more time to balance their cash flows.
Analysts also point out that developers are not willing to hold any land inventories in hand, while tightening credit policies and market uncertainties have also helped keep market supplies low. The amount of completed and newly constructed properties in July both plummeted by 35.7% in terms of area from June. Experts believe the market readjustment could last longer than expected, and it will eliminate small and inefficient developers this time around. Liu Wenwei, CCTV.
And finally, here's the weather forecast for China and North America with Hala Mohideen. Good morning. Well, we're looking at a much drier day today with the rain in both the north and the south shrinking back and clear skies returning to the north once more. Down in Hubei, northern Hunan and western Anhui, the rain there should ease off, although wet weather will continue from Jiangsu and Jiangxi all the way through to Yunnan and central and eastern Tibet. Moderate to heavy strength rain will hit Jiangsu, eastern Jiangsu, Shanghai and northeastern Zhejiang, as well as appearing down in Yunnan, western Guangxi and eastern Tibet. Now looking ahead to tomorrow, we'll see that rain drying off across in the east with clear to partly cloudy skies emerging over much of central and eastern China. Across in the west though, the rain there is set to strengthen. Now in terms of temperatures, we have got a cooler spell on the way today with the highs in the northeast peaking at between 20 and 25 degrees, although down in the Huanan region it will be hot and sticky, and this muggy weather should hang around for the next 4 days or so. Let's hop across to North America now, where we're going to see clear skies across most of the US today, although light showers will appear from Montana and Wyoming through to New Mexico. Tomorrow we're expecting that rain to strengthen into a moderate to heavy strength intensity over in Wyoming, Montana, North and South Dakota, all the way up to eastern Ontario. And finally, we'll take a quick look at Tropical Storm Gustav, which is set to bring rainfall to southeastern Texas and southern Louisiana tomorrow evening, with the rain in Louisiana set to strengthen the day after tomorrow. That's it for now. Here's your summary. And that's it for this edition of Worldwide Watch. I'm Li Xing. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.